What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're gonna be working on this mess here. Got a couple tanks here I want to consolidate into one. So I'm gonna pick up the camera, show you guys exactly what's going on with these tanks behind me. Alrighty, so as you can see here, I've got a couple tanks here. That's a 6-gallon cubes, and this is actually a 12-gallon bowl that I got off of Amazon maybe like 7-8 years ago or something like that. Holding water great. So the plan today is to take the fish from all three of these tanks, put them into this bowl. Obviously you can see that the bowl is full of hair algae and just doesn't look good. So a rescape, all of that is going to be in order. In this first tank here, you can kind of see here, I've got a couple chili raspberries. I believe there's maybe like 7 or 8 of them in here, along with a boatload of moss and some snails in there. I believe there are some assassin snails in here as well. I used to have orange really shrimp in here, but I think the assassin snails took them out because they were breeding very, very heavily. You can kind of see the chilies there on the side. But yeah, the orange willies were breeding heavily, and then it just started dying after I added the assassin snails in there. So I'm pretty sure the assassin snails took them out, which sucks, but I'll get them again soon. This is our bowl. This has some cherry red shrimp. You can see there, and in the mess here, they're kind of scattered all over the place. As well as you see in between there, a few ember tetras, and I believe there's some celestial pearl daniels in here. I don't know if they're even still alive, but they're in there. And then in this one, my fluval nanolite hasn't come on yet. I don't know how to turn it on to stay on, but I have a female beta fish here. She is absolutely beautiful. Call her Cheese because she's orange. I kind of want to breed her in the future once she gets a little bit bigger. But I am on the hunt for a male that has very similar color to her. I want, you know, little to no blue and or white. As you can see, my female, she has almost no blue or white on her really. So I would like to get that kind of like tigery look to it. So, and I also have an assassin, or not an assassin snail, a nerite snail in here. So yeah, we're gonna be basically taking these 3 tanks, putting it into one. This stand here, I actually built this stand myself. This used to be in my old bedroom over at my parents' house. I'm gonna chop it off, keep this one section here. The rest of this is gonna be garbage, because as you can see here, it did get water damaged. It got, you know, like rotted out or whatever. So I'm just gonna cut this right here, keep this one section here, and this is actually gonna go on my couch behind me over here. But first order of business, remove the plants in all of these, catch the fish out, and I'm gonna actually be putting the fish into this 15-gallon cube. The plants, at least the moss, I'm gonna put into this bucket, and then all the stem plants that are in there, I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna lay a trash bag out here and put them on top of the table there. I was actually wondering if maybe I should use this 15-gallon cube here in place of the bowl on the stand, but unfortunately the cube's footprint is bigger than the width of my stand, so unfortunately I can't use it, which sucks. It would have been pretty cool to have, like, you know, just big column kind of looking thing with, you know, the tank and all the plants and fish inside of there. I would have had to paint the back black, but that I might build a stand for this in the near future. So let's get started with removing some of the plants and fish, and I'll pick back up once I have everything kind of situated. Okay, so the chili reservoir tank with all the moss is taken down. I had to put the tank down here on the floor, but the chilies are right here in the corner. You can kind of see them, along with one assassin snail. And all the moss is inside the bucket here. I actually forgot there's driftwood in there too. You can kind of see it sticking out right there. Yeah, that's one tank down. Gonna move over to possibly this one, because this one has less amount of hair algae in it, and it's only one fish and a snail, so it's gonna be a lot easier to take down. So let's get this one down, and then we'll work on that guy. Okay, so that was a little more difficult than expected. Even though there's not as much hair algae as this bowl, the hair algae, once you take it out of the water, it really just grips on everything. But I was able to get the beta fish out of there, obviously the nerite snail, and there was one assassin snail in here as well. And to my surprise, there was a bunch of little shrimp in there. I know a while back, maybe like over a year ago or so, I did have cherry shrimp, blue dreams, yellows, and greens in there, but I could have swore that they had all died or got eaten by the betta fish because I never saw them. But yeah, you can see here the substrate is an absolute mess. And these little guys survived in that mess of plants. And there's actually some pretty neat colors in here. It's hard to see in this. This is a hospital tray that we got from when my girlfriend came back from the hospital with the baby. They gave us this for free. It was sterile, so I decided to use it for the fish. But yeah, you can see there's what, I think like 7 or 8 shrimp in there. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them because in the bowl, there's actually, like I showed you guys before, red cherry shrimp, and I don't wanna mix them again. I do wanna keep just red cherry shrimp in here. So I may take those guys that I found in here and maybe just set one of these tanks back up down in the fish room or something. I don't know, we'll see what we're gonna do exactly. Or maybe I'll just toss them in one of the 20 longs or something down there. But now to tackle this monster, I'm not looking forward to it. This is gonna take me a long time. You can see here actually all the plants that I got. So I had some Vesuvius sword in the back, assorted stem plants and stuff like that. This is just riddled in hair algae. I didn't even bother trying to take it out. A boatload of crypt parva. This was carpeting in there. I'm gonna use this in the bowl because I love the way this looks. Some Rotalas, I believe it is, or something. More stem plants here. This is all just, look at all this nastiness. This is fish poop and waste and stuff. But we are gonna clean all of these plants off. Not this I might just toss. I will more than likely end up clipping some plants from in the 75 here to put into the bowl. I might be able to save some of the plants that are in this bowl, but with the amount of hair algae in here, I highly doubt it. There's the piece of dragonstone in there. It's deep in there. Let me see, let me move this light back over here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so you see that piece of dragonstone? I am gonna break that up and use it along with these few pieces of dragonstone here in this driftwood. I do want to scape this tank kind of nicely. I do want it to be my like a nice display tank, so I'm gonna try to aquascape it. At least I've never been good at it, but we're gonna definitely give it our best shot. So time to tackle this bowl. All right, so as you can see, this is horrible. The bowl looks an absolute mess. There was a lot more hair algae in there than I expected. Majority of these plants, unfortunately, not going to be saving. I have enough plants in the 75 where I don't even care. But if you look at the table, there's still a decent amount of plants here. This is some hornwood I'm going to throw into the fish room. These plants I might try to save. These ones are good. These ones are good. I might try to save a couple of these stems. Obviously, the crypt parva staying. This is more than likely going to go. These two are like dying, but I'm going to try to see if I can revive these. This is a little piece of crypt wenti I'm going to save. And the Vesuvius sword I'm going to save as well. So I won't need to take many plants out of the 75, even though, as you can see, it is definitely due for a trimming. I might take a piece of this Blixa japonica, or whatever, japonica Blixa, I don't know exactly. But I'm going to take a piece of that, maybe put it in the bowl, as you know, big, like, bushy centerpiece kind of. But next, I've got to drain this tank, try not to catch or siphon out the cherry shrimp in here. You can see there's actually more than I thought. And there's only a few, actually. I think like 3. You can see them over there, ember tetras. I don't think any of the celestial pearl danios are alive. And surprisingly, this coolie loach that I haven't seen in years. Oh shoot, a second one. Wow. Did not know they were both in there. Cool. Let's see, can you see? Yeah, you can kind of see some of the shrimp down there. All the little speckles are red. So let me start draining this tank and catching the shrimp out. The shrimp I'm gonna end up putting in here with the fish and the snails and stuff like that. The assassin snails I'm putting in here temporarily. I'm gonna end up possibly throwing them down in the fish room into some of my tanks that have a bunch of ram's horn snails. I don't want them in here anymore because of the shrimp. I think they're the ones taking out the shrimp, so I want to keep the shrimp alive. So let's get to draining and catching more fish. Okay, so it is done. Drained, all the fish are caught. There was unfortunately only 3 ember tetras, 2 coolie loaches, and roughly 40 cherry shrimp. Everybody's in here from all 3 tanks, all assassin snails, everything is in here. All the plants that I'm tossing are in here. The dragonstone that was in the bowl, I placed in here just in case there were any shrimp or anything on it, or any more assassin snails or anything like that. I'm gonna be taking this outside and just smashing it into a couple bits so I have extra rock to work with along with the stuff down here to scape this. Next step is to take the tanks off of here, empty this out, drag this outside, and chop that. So let me get to it. Alrighty, so we are emptied out. You can see here, there was actually some mold building up underneath the bowl, which is not good. Good thing I'm gonna be using this section. I'm more than likely gonna put something over this so this doesn't happen again. Just, you know, water coming over and stuff like that. I did accidentally overfill a couple times, so that's why that's like that. But all the drawers are emptied. Oh, this one has a lock on it. This is why I'm keeping this one. This one I did end up taking off just because I've got a lot of stuff in there. I gotta go through that. So now time to drag this out to my back deck. Use my reciprocating saw, my multi-tool, to chop this right there and just keep this one section. So let's get outside. So as you can see here, I'm giving it a quick touch-up paint. You can kind of see a little bit of the mark where the track was, but that's okay. This side is gonna end up being up against the wall. This is actually the same black paint that I used for painting the back of my tanks. So it shouldn't, I mean, the bowl's not gonna be painted at all because clearly it's a bowl. There's no sides to it, but just peace of mind knowing that they all match, even though they're in completely separate rooms. But yeah, I'm gonna finish giving this one coat of paint should be enough. Honestly, I don't care if it's perfect. I just wanted to not have raw wood on here. And I'm gonna let this dry while I go upstairs and clean the bowl. So let me finish up here and I'll show you guys when I'm done. Okay, there she is. Nice coat of paint. Nice and clean, go all the way around. You see it looks nice and black. That way when I put it upstairs, you can't peek at anything. It is laying down on its side right now. So again, I'm gonna let this dry. I'm gonna take my fan here and point it at it just so it dries a little faster while I'm going upstairs to clean out the bowl. Alrighty, so we're in my bathroom now. I've got the bowl in the tub here. I'm gonna be taking the sponge here, cleaning the sides, and then kind of just cleaning the substrate a little bit. I do have fluval stratum in here, so I don't wanna drain it of its nutrients entirely, but I do wanna get some of the mold and stuff that's at the bottom of this out because it is very mucky. I honestly never really gravel siphon this or whatever just because it's a planted substrate. You don't do that. So we're gonna go ahead and get this bowl clean and you guys will see it looking completely different in 3, 2. There we go. Bowl is nice and clean. There is still a little bit of muck in there, but it's okay. I'm gonna keep that in there for the plants. It's good stuff. Just wanted to get most of it out. You can see nice and clean all the way around. I do have to dry the outside, but let's go ahead and get this back over to where it's supposed to go. Alrighty, back downstairs. The stand seems to be relatively dry. I did only do did a thin coat of paint on it, so it dried relatively quick. Again, doesn't matter because this is going up against the wall. So let's go bring this upstairs so you guys can see how it's gonna look once it's there. Alrighty, so there's the stand in place. It's going right here behind my couch. Again, don't mind my son. This is where it's going to sit. I do have to get a little arm here to go up to attach the light for the bowl. I have one downstairs from when I originally had to set up in my bedroom in my parents' place. So I'm gonna see if I can reuse it. But this is essentially where it's gonna sit. You see it's kind of right behind my couch. That way you can kind of just turn over and look at the bowl. Idealistically, I would have liked it to be a little shorter. That way it's kind of like a little level with this, but it is what it is. I'm not gonna build another one just for it to be, what, 4 or 5 inches shorter. So it sits good here. I do have my subwoofer for my sound bar. It's gonna go inside here. Maybe I might just leave it back there because it's hidden behind the couch. So we'll see, but this is essentially where it's gonna go. Bowl's gonna sit, boom, right there on top. Lights, everything's gonna look awesome. So this is pretty much where I'm finishing off today, or for now at least. I gotta come back later, go to my grandfather's house. It is his birthday. So I'll be coming back later to finish up working on this. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, guys, so I did a little bit more while my girlfriend's putting the baby to sleep. As you can see here, I have got my light in place. The backing little poles holding up the light does kind of hang over the tank perfectly. So this is again the Fluval Nano, the plant nano. Hopefully, I mean, it should grow the plants pretty good. I was growing it in the other tanks pretty well also. So yeah, this is kind of again where I'm gonna stop. I do have to fill up the 15-gallon that the fish are in right now, just temporarily keep them in there again with the fish and the filters and stuff like that, heated as well, just to hold them off until I get to put them in here, which is gonna be later today. So that's it for now. I will see you guys in the next clip, which is gonna be in a couple hours for me. For you guys, a second. Okay guys, so I'm finally back home. Just got back in. So I've got all my aquascaping material here. I've got some dragonstone here. The big piece that was in here, I did take to my garage and smash it into a bunch of different small pieces. So that's why you see all these little pieces here. These 4 right here, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are new. Everything else is from the big piece that I had. And then I also have these pieces of driftwood here. I'm gonna try to incorporate it into the scape. So really now is just me tossing in the dragonstone, seeing what works. I do want to leave some space in the front and the back for the plants and stuff like that. But yeah, now I'm really just gonna play around with the rocks and the wood and see what I like. I want it to look good from this angle, but also from the side, because obviously it is a bowl, so you can see it from multiple sides. Don't mind my son. So I'm gonna prop my phone up on the tripod and just do a little time lapse of me playing around with the rocks and seeing what I like, and we'll see where I get by the end of the night. Okay, so this is kind of what we've come up with. I've got the driftwood intertwined with a whole bunch of the dragonstone there. I actually still have a piece of driftwood there and a few small pieces of dragonstone. I've got some super glue gel that I'm going to use to wherever the wood is contacting some of the rocks. I'm going to just glue that in place so they don't float up, because these pieces of wood have been in my in a spare tank in my basement for a while now, and yeah, I don't want them to float up and mess up the whole scape, so I am going to glue them down. And then we'll get to planting. I've got, you know, the elixir I'm going to put up front. So we'll get to that in a little bit. So let me just glue these things down to make sure they don't float, and we'll get to planting. Okay, guys, so you guys still on the tripod. I super glued everything down. I did the MD fish tanks tap test and made sure that nothing moved. So it seems pretty solid. Hopefully once I fill it up, it will not move. I'm gonna fill it up part way so I can plant some of the foreground plants, which is the Crypt Parva. And then I'm going to take some Nubius Nana Petite, I believe it is, that I have, and get those in the crevices of the rock. So let's start getting to the planting portion of the video. Okay, next order of business. Sorry I'm whispering, my son is sleeping on the couch next to me, so I have to be a little bit quiet. But I've got a bunch of boosts here. I don't know exactly what kind this is, but I got a bunch of boosts and a bunch of different pieces of Anubias Nana Petite, I believe it is. I'm going to be gluing that all amongst, oh sorry, let me show you the actual scape, that would help. But yeah, I'm gonna glue it all amongst all the different pieces in here between the rock crevices and stuff. Some pieces I may glue onto little smaller pieces of dragonstone that are in here and just kind of shove them in the crevices so it looks cool. But let me get to that next. Okay guys, so the tank is pretty much planted. You see I've went to the 75 and took some plants out. That's the Vesuvius that was in the one of the cubes. Some red and Rotala, Liquidia, I don't even know. I have a whole bunch of plants in the 75. I don't know the names of them. I just know they grow, which I like. So that's what I keep. But yeah, from now, for now, sorry, this is what it's gonna look like. Time to catch the fish, put them, ooh, that was my son. Sorry, he just burped. But yeah, now I gotta catch the fish, put them in here. But first I wanna get the heater and the filter in here and just run the cables down to the power outlet in the back. So let me get those in and then I'll catch the fish. Okay guys, as you can see, the bowl is full. Fish, shrimp, everybody's in there. You can kind of see the chili rasbora and the 3 ember tetras all schooling together. Coolie loaches are in there too. I am never gonna see them again because they're gonna hide in the rockwork, which is fine as long as they're happy. Shrimp, hopefully they populate in there. And then I do have one nearite snail. You can kind of see it there, the striped zebra or the zebra nearite. Beta fish is somewhere in there, probably just chilling. Filter is on. You can see there is ripples there. I have the a little like power filter in the back there. It's heated as well. Got my thermometer there on the side. I'll get a clip of the tank tomorrow after it's cleared up. Once the filter, you know, sucks up a lot of the low micro debris. There's the beta fish. You can see her there chilling. So yeah, tank's looking pretty good. I'll get a clip tomorrow once it's all cleared up. Okay guys, so it's been roughly like 2 weeks or so, maybe 3, since I recorded that last clip there. As you can see, the bowl looks pretty different. I did a major trim on some of the plants in my 75, so I added some clippings here into the bowl. You can see here, got plants all over the place. There's a little bit of string algae growing. You can see some right there on the boost and like in between the crypt parva at the front. But the bowl is settling in nicely. You can see it's nice and clear now. You can see my female beta there at the top, and the chili rasbors and the 3 ember tetras are doing great. The 2 coolie loaches, God knows where they are. They're probably somewhere in the rockwork. The shrimp, I see them every now and then. I don't know if the beta is hunting them down. It would suck if she is, but I'm hoping with the extra added plant, you know, hiding space, that I'll get some more surviving shrimplets. And, you know, with the rockwork and stuff too, I'm hoping they can hide in there and survive in there also. I do want to add some Amano shrimp to this tank to kind of help with the hair algae. Some of it is, you know, just remnants of what was in the bowl before. You can see it here in the parva. It's growing all over the place. I do pick it out, but I want to add the ooh, don't mind that, my stove just went off. But yeah, I do want to add the Amano shrimp to help just eat that up. And sorry. Good news, I did actually end up getting some more ember tetras. Somebody was closing down one of their tanks and they had 10 or 11 of them, I believe. So they are downstairs quarantining right now. I will eventually bring them up here and get them into the bowl to join the 3 lonely guys in here. So then that way I have a nice school of 14 or 13 or 14. Plus the like 8 or 9-ish chili rasboras I have in there. I may end up getting some more of the chilies because I do like those guys. Sorry, oh God, something in my throat. But yeah, that's the bowl. That's where it sits now. From here on out, it's just gonna be trimming the plants and keeping up on water changes. So yeah, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more content.